Today we're going to take a look at a police interaction that I had in Sedro Woolley, Washington, where they have some unconstitutional law.
Police department, can I talk to you for a sec? You can't stay here overnight or anything like that.
Nope.
It's not designated as the time frame, right? If you were sleeping in your vehicle, it's considered camping in the city.
So as long as I don't go to sleep, I'm good.
It's not about whether you sleep.
So you can't sit in your vehicle in this town. You're warning me that if I go anywhere in this city,
Like I said, we got
I'll be asked to move
We got
along.
a lot of issues with transient people.
I got you.
Vehicle,
but
so
does this seem like a transient situation to you? You deal with people all day, and you can see that I'm not intoxicated. There's no issue here. I do this I've been doing this for a long time. I live here. I was planning on parking on the street.
Okay, which is not going to be allowed, and you're going to be asked to move along. You'll probably see us again. So, okay?
I'm going to watch this video with you and give you a commentary on why I think this is wrong, why I think it's unconstitutional to have this law in place, and what is the problem with this police interaction. I just want to make it clear that I am not an auditor. I am a Vanlifer that lives in a bread truck that's turned into a tiny home on wheels, and I just travel the country from state to state and wish to travel unmolested by law enforcement. Unfortunately, cops around the country let the power that they have go to their head. They will insist on violating your rights in order to withdraw money from your wallet. In this police interaction, I was just sitting in the parking lot of a convenience store where I had been inside and I bought an ice cream to enjoy. I'm going to go ahead and play this video and give you some thoughts that I have about it along the way.
Police department,
Yep.
can I talk to you for a sec?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Nothing. What's
Hanging
up?
out here? Are you a customer?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds like you've been here for a little while, right? 30 minutes or something like that?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. All right. So employees were locking up and stuff like that. Weren't sure why you're here so long.
Mm-hmm. Let me stop it right there. I had been in this parking lot for about 30 minutes. I don't know about you, but I do not consider that to be a long time. If I'm a patron of a business, I feel like 30 minutes is a completely reasonable amount of time to be in their parking lot. Let's continue.
Okay, so you can't stay here overnight or anything like that.
Nope.
Right?
I got an ice cream inside,
Okay.
and I was eating ice cream.
Okay.
That just seemed a bit excessive, but yeah.
All right. So they're closing up, so they're going to need you to move along. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. I mean, what, how long, like, I just don't understand.
it's their business, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they're locking up, and
Uh-huh.
they're just asking you that, you move along.
Oh, so they're asking me to leave now.
Yeah.
So I was parked in a private parking lot, the parking lot of this convenience store, and I was on private property. So the business owners, they must have called the police and asked me to leave, and they have every right to do so. I think it may have been a little bit excessive. They could have just talked to me or whatever and said they're closing up, but I understand if maybe they were fearful, maybe they had been robbed, maybe they had issues with crime in this area, and they wanted me to move along. And if they want to call the cops and have them interact with me to get me out of their parking lot, so be it. That's their right. I don't have any issue with a business exercising their rights. So that's why the police were here in the first place. Okay, that seems odd.
They called us because it was just suspicious that you were still here. So they usually don't have people loiter in their parking lot. So
Lloyd, okay, all right.
So yeah. So just so you understand, in the city of Sedro Woolley,
Yeah.
the only places you can park overnight for camping or something like that are going to be at the Bingham Park and Riverfront Park.
Yeah.
So, all right. Do you have a destination in mind, or?
I don't wish to share.
That's fine.
Sorry.
Okay, but
Yeah.
if I see you parked anywhere else in town other than a designated camp spot, you can get cited for it.
Okay, so they mentioned this Bingham Park and whatever the other one was. The places that they mentioned, I traveled to both of those places to see if I could stay there overnight, and neither of them were accessible. One of the parks was completely closed down, gates were closed, and the other park was a paid RV parking. They had about 6 spaces, and they were all full, and they were closed for the night. So that was not an option. So I'm finding out that this city is not a city that you can stay in overnight in any way. Another funny thing about this interaction is that I did go to these parks as they recommended, and they followed me around town everywhere I went. So they're telling me to go to these parks. I pulled up to one. It's completely closed off. The gates are closed. It's a closed park. That's not an option. So I don't know. That's kind of ridiculous that they would send me there. And they were following me around town to see that if I parked on the street, they were just ready to issue a citation and harass me a little bit further. I went to the second location that they mentioned, the other park, and the same situation there. I see them buzzing around, watching my truck, seeing if they can find an opportunity to issue a citation to me, just to extract a little bit of money out of my bank account.
So
okay. I'm unclear as to just like if you park in the city, you cannot park in the city.
you can park, but you cannot sleep in your vehicle overnight. Is considered camping.
Okay, but yeah. So what's the time frame? Like, you're tired on the road, you pull over and you want to take a nap.
Okay.
So
right.
you can't do that in this town.
Well, if this is private property, so.
I gotcha. But if I was parked on the street, there's street parking all over.
True.
So this is the part that really got to me. Say you have a long day of driving and you want to pull over, catch a little power nap, recharge your batteries, and get back on the road. It is illegal to do so in this town. And the wording that he's using here, he did mention camping, but he said if you're caught sleeping in your car, he says this several times, that if you're sleeping in your car, if you're sleeping in your vehicle, that they can issue you a citation. He goes on to deny that later on. What the officer is trying to say here, he's doing a very poor job of articulating the law, which I did look up the municipal code, and he is following the law. He is trying to enforce a law that they do have in place. Let's continue.
I don't see any issue with that.
But if you're sleeping in your vehicle overnight, right, it doesn't say how long, and you're not in a designated camping area, we can ask you to move along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just wondering about the time frame, because like
it's not designated as the time frame, right? If you were sleeping in your vehicle, it's considered camping in the city. There are 2 designated places to sleep if you're camping. Riverfront Park,
right.
Union Park.
Yeah, I'm just talking about being in my vehicle.
Okay.
I mean, I could stay in my vehicle all night long and not be sleeping.
Okay. Well, that's kind of up for debate, right? So.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you don't know what I'm doing in here. This is my home.
Yeah.
This is where I live.
And that's what I see, that it is your home, right? And so, like I said.
So as long as I don't go to sleep, I'm good.
It's not about whether you sleep.
Okay. Well, that's kind of what you said, is if I sleep in my vehicle.
Well, I said camping. I didn't say sleep.
Okay. It seemed like you said sleeping before, if I sleep in the vehicle, but
I said camping. You're camping in the city, right?
Yeah.
Is allowed in 2 designated areas, like I already mentioned a couple of times.
So this is the debate when it comes to this topic. Like I said, I pulled up the municipal code, and he's absolutely right. I'm going to go ahead and read the municipal code to you right now and let you know exactly what it says. 10.44.198 for recreational vehicles. It is unlawful to occupy any recreational vehicle for residence purposes anywhere in the city, except in a duly established RV park maintained in accordance with all applicable state statutes and city ordinances. So unless you're on private property with written authorization from an owner, you are unable to occupy your vehicle in a residential way at all in this city. That means if you pull over your vehicle on the side of the road, it is unlawful for you to read a book on the side of the road in your vehicle. That is a residential capacity. It's unlawful for you to heat up a pot of tea and have some tea in your vehicle in this city. This is pulled directly from the Sedro Woolley Municipal Code, and it is true. I mean, I was astounded when I pulled up the code and I read it and I saw that you are unable to be in a vehicle in a residential way at all. There is no time frame. There is no time limit. So this is for the recreational vehicle code. If you're in an RV in the city at all and you're not driving, moving along, and you're just sitting in your vehicle, you're breaking the law. This is why I consider this to be unconstitutional. Do we not have the right to sit in a car? We don't have a right to sit in an RV on the side of the road? This is ridiculous. If you're driving and you're feeling tired and you want to take over and you want to pull over and you want to take a nap, you should be allowed to do so. This city is causing more danger to the public health than it is protecting it. And that's what they're here to do, is to protect public safety. And it seems like they're working against it. Let's continue on with the police interaction just a little bit longer, and let's hear a little bit more from them.
So you can't sit in your vehicle in this town?
For a temporary period of time, it's fine. But this one is private property, so they just want you to move along.
I got that, but I'm just saying you're warning me that if I go anywhere in this city,
like I said,
I'll be asked to move along.
We got a lot of issues with transient people.
I got you.
Vehicle,
but
so
does this seem like a transient situation to you?
Do
I seem like I'm on drugs, or do I feel? I know, but you deal with people all day, and you can see that I'm not intoxicated. There's no issue here. I do this I've been doing this for a long time. I live here. This is a fully functional house back here.
Cool.
I'm unclear as to what the rule is, because I need to return an auto part in the morning.
Okay.
So, and that's in this town right around the corner.
You can go outside the city and you'll be fine, or you can stay in one of our designated camp areas.
I was planning on parking on the street.
Okay, which is not going to be allowed, and you're going to be asked to move along.
I don't understand. What is the time frame that denotes not being allowed to park on the street? I have a lot of work to do tonight. I have to.
And I've been pretty clear. You can look up the municipal code if you'd like. You can Google it. Sedro Woolley municipal code, right? So I'm just advising you that if you sleep elsewhere in town and it's not one of the 2 designated camp areas, you'll probably see us again. So okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Have a good night.
Yep. Have a good one.
So with that, they walk off into the night and proceed to follow me around this town and try to get me in a little bit more trouble. I guess I've said all there is to say. To me, it seems completely unconstitutional to have a city that you can't even sit in your car. I can't wait outside of a business in order to have a part returned to an auto parts store because I'm using my vehicle in a residence purpose. To me, it's just absolutely ridiculous. I'm going to go ahead and end this video, but I want this video to be more of a discussion. I want to hear from you in the comments. I want to hear what you think about this law that they have in Sedro Woolley, Washington. See what you think about the legality of this, the constitutional rights that are at play here. It's kind of funny that they have this law in a state where the Washington Supreme Court just ruled recently that your vehicle can be considered a homestead. So all these things seem really crazy. It seems like the type of thing that's going to remain in the laws until somebody with a really fat wallet decides to fight them on this issue. I understand that transients can come through and maybe have drug addiction issues and cause crime and all of that thing, but to have this blanket law that applies to every single person that comes through this town, to me, is just absolutely ridiculous, and it needs to be changed. So is van life a crime? Is it illegal to sit in a city and just read a book or make a cup of coffee or take a short nap? Well, in Sedro Woolley, yes, it is. I'll see you next time in another video real soon.